Howdy folks, Chris here from CC Detecting and Scrapping with another video in the series for what to expect when you pick up a home computer system. This one is going to discuss the external drive and the hard drives and what to do with those and how to take them apart. We're not going to worry about the cables too much because I kind of covered the cables in a few of the other videos, and those these cables here, like, you know, once you take apart one USB, they're all the same. Same with these ends. Very similar. You just snip the plastic and peel back the casing, and then you can go from there. I also showed you what you can do with the power adapter. Sorry about that. With the power adapter, when you crack it open in the last video as well. So this video is just going to concentrate on what to expect when you open an external drive as opposed to what to expect when you open a hard drive. This one's pretty heavy, so there should be a hard drive inside it. Let me get set up here and we'll get going. Okay, so for this external drive, it appears to just hold one drive. You can get some that are twice as wide that'll hold two, or you can get some for laptops. They're all kind of the same. They'll have an input for power and an output for where the data goes to your laptop tower or whatever. There'll be a circuit board to control it, and then usually a power switch of some type. This one here, the case may be aluminum, but I think the ends are plastic, so we'll have to check that out. We'll just a couple screws here, so let's undo these screws, and we'll see if we can't just pull that entire control board out. It's a pretty good shot of my big hand there. There we go. And here we go. So we're pulling this out. It's just a type of bay, it appears. It will have inside, looks like there's a wire which leads to some LEDs at the front. So we'll take a hammer and snap that part off. We have one drive bay, which has a tiny ID cable. Looks like we have a bit of a circuit board there. And the front end should just pop off. Oh, we got a couple screws there too. So let's get these screws out and we'll get the drive free and I'll show you what we got. I should note, to remove the hard drive from the bay, it's usually just a couple screws on the side here. You can see there's four holding it in. And then we'll get that undone and then I'll show you how it hooks up after that. Okay, so I got it all taken apart here. The two ends were just some cheap plastic, so we'll throw those out right now. The frame here was, or is, can't change properties. We got a little bit of cleaning up in to do there, but this would come in as a clean, once it's cleaned up, it'll be clean extruded. A little bit of tin from the screws, tiny ID cable, a little tiny bit of insulated wire, which was for the LED for the power switch. Tiny little circuit board. This would be the control board. Here's the ID pins, which appear to be gold plated, very lightly gold plated. Really looks like more like a flashing, and then a little bit of monolithic ceramic capacitors, some tiny ones there. So, and then it's hard to tell until I take these apart, but there are gold plated pins inside the inside this connector port, and I'm not too sure about this one here. And then the switch in here will sometimes have some silver coated contacts for power. So we'll cut this little wire off, we'll throw this in our circuit board bin, and we'll go from there. Now for the hard drive itself, a couple parts. Every hard drive is pretty much the same. It has a control board. This is the old style where it has the gold pins. The other ones will have gold fingers with the newer stuff. This board comes off pretty good. This outer side here can either be steel, aluminum, or stainless steel. We'll find that out in a little bit later. And then the casing here is a cast aluminum. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take off this bottom circuit board once we get the proper bits, and then we'll take off the top plate here and then open it up. So let me get the circuit board off and the screws out of the top, and I'll get right back to you. So I got all the screws out, and this board here just pops right off. It's not attached to any wires. It has a touch contact instead. The pins are gold plated. I don't see any other gold plating on there. gold flashing on the things. But hard drive boards, excuse me, hard drive boards have their own category when you're selling circuit boards. So keep those separately if that's what you're doing. Otherwise, just put them in whatever category your yard takes them in. Like I said before, my yard doesn't actually take circuit boards unless it's called shred. So I will deal with those on my own. I take all the screws out of the top part as well. There's usually one hidden one, the snaky ones there that always kind of throw you off. But we just pop the top off there. And inside we have a couple things here. So we have this moisture pack. Just throw that on the floor and it'll end up in the garbage. This is your reader. It scans the different layers of discs, and this one we got 3. And these are your neodymium magnets. So these platters here are usually aluminum, or always aluminum with some type of other metal coating on it. That's, you know, if you're a home refiner, from what I've been reading, they're not really worth the time taking apart. So I just throw them into my aluminum bin once I make sure that the data on them is destroyed. If you guarantee that you're going to destroy the data, there's a couple ways of doing it. I usually just take a grinder wheel to it and then just go across it a few times and make sure it's scuffed up really good. And that's more than enough, from what I've read, that you can to destroy the data. So what we're going to do in here now is we're going to start undoing some screws. We'll get the magnets out. We'll get this little reader part out and undo just what we can to free up the platters as well. These tiny little screws here hold on the top part. So what they'll be is there'll be spacers in between there, like I was saying. What those do is they sit upon the bearing which spins the platter. Sorry for the background noise. That's a grinder wheel going. I just wanted to check something here real quick. So the top part, just want to show you something. This piece here, magnet doesn't sticks here. This is stainless steel. That's why the grinder's going, and this will just go right into your tin bin. So that's actually not a bad little weight too for stainless. So what we'll do is we'll just clean that up and then put that in our stainless bucket. Alright, so we got, I took all the screws out here, so we'll just see what each part is. So we have a piece of tin there. Throw that in the tin bin. These are sometimes tin, sometimes aluminum. It just depends on the maker. We have, just pull these screws out here holding the platters in place. And we can't do this without dropping everything. So we got a couple of screws inside there. Of course, I think this is going to be difficult. So this is this reader part here. It's probably glued in or stuck in somehow, so we'll probably have to pry that out. The reader itself wants to be difficult. So there's the so there we go. There's the top neodymium magnet part. Now that's a good magnet, and I'll show you how to take those out in a bit. Now the reader on the bottom, it's plastic. So it looks like we've got a few more screws to take out there now that we've got the top magnet off. So we'll pull those out and then we get the whole entire reader out. 1 second. Alright, so I took those screws out and then I pried the reader arm over. So now we can start taking some platters out. So we have one there, and sorry, I just have to tip it upside down. So again, that's that spacer I was mentioning earlier. We'll just see if that one appears to be cast aluminum. Let's keep removing these plastic pieces out. And we just end up with the one at the bottom, which doesn't want to come out. So, which is alright. We'll get it all. Just pry that out there. Okay, so that's the reader arm. The reader arm will have a chunk of copper here. It's usually aluminum, dirty aluminum. If you really want to get picky, there might be some stuff at the ends to look for. I usually just peel off as much as I can to make it look not as obvious as it's dirty aluminum. So I'll just throw that there. And then I just, if I can, I pop the copper coil out. If not, then I just throw it in with the aluminum bin. And we have a little bit of a tin sheeting there. So that can go into your dirty aluminum pile. And then in here we still have one more platter to go. There was that. Oops. Ooh, that was loud, eh? So we got rid of that one platter, and then we just got to pull out this neodymium magnet. Oops. There we go. And now we have just a few things left to take care of. We have another type of moisture pad there, I believe. We'll accidentally break that open. So another pad to take out. We have this bearing to pop out, and then this part here, as well as this spindle, which I believe is a screw under here. So let's get a few things out here, and then I'll just show you what we get at the end. Alright, so I got all that taken care of now. I'll explain what I did. So for the spindle in the middle, so it goes like that. Basically what I did is I take a hole punch, or a type of punch, and I just pop it through the bottom, and then the well, I had it out, but now it's back in there. The little copper winding goes around there, and then if you can get that separated back out again. So the middle part is metal, the outside is aluminum, so that'll go into your irony aluminum bin, or you can leave it as is and it'll be called a motor. The little reader part, which went like this. So once the screws are out, basically it just pulled right out. This spindle here, which is what held the reader arm, I just pried it out and then used another type of hole punch to finish popping it through. And then this was just stuck on with glue. The back side here, there's a little ribbon cable. It can sometimes have, this one's a little mangled right now, but see where those bright spots are? Those can be gold flashing or gold plating. So check those. And but I pull it off. But now what I have here is a clean piece of cast aluminum. So I'll put that in my cast aluminum bin. And then this is tin. Sorry, this can just go into whichever bucket, tin bucket, I guess. It's not really a circuit board. It's kind of a connector. There's no gold plating on it, so it's not really worth the time to take apart. This one, anyway. I think that's just a little tiny brass bearing in the middle, not really worth the time to rip apart. So that's about it for the insides of a hard drive. I will show you how I take out the neodymium magnets. Some guys are selling these online for $1 a pair. For me, it's just not really worth it. I don't really see much of a market where I'm at. So what I do with these is I use the magnets for scrapping, or I have one on my wire stripper, which holds the Allen key needed to adjust my different screws. And like I said, these things are great for, you know, obviously checking for steel, stuff like that. So let me get set up. I'll show you what I do to remove that magnet, and then we'll wrap up the video. Okay, so as you can see, we have the neodymium magnet here and the steel thing that's glued to here. What I do is I just put it in the vise. I take my screwdriver, I'll grab a hammer here, and I just set it up on the just on the little bit of the lip, and you just kind of want to tap it if you can. There we go. Now you can see that. See if it's in the camera there yet. You can see it's starting to separate. It is just glued on, and it's gonna just pop off. There you go. You see the glue separating. So we can just go in there and grab that. This is a good one, and there you have it. Oh, a little zoomed in. And that is how you take the magnets off the steel plate. Now these magnets, for as strong as they are kind of fragile, so if you drop them, they can break sometimes on concrete. But I usually just have one sitting on the vise there, and that's how I check real quick to see what's going on. So you can see it right here. Whoops. It just sits there right on the vise in any way. So that's a quick video on what to expect when you open up an external hard drive, as well as the hard drive that's inside it. They are fun to take apart. I do recommend, like with the other drives, is you wait till you get, you know, a good bundle, 10 or 15 or so, and then just do them all at once. Some of them need like 2 different screwdriver types, and you know, by the time you get to the last one, you're going to be whipping through it, but the first couple are pretty slow until you get all your tools together. But yeah, so that's about it. Let me know what you guys do with your neodymium magnets. One guy gave me a pretty good idea to create a magnetic tool holder, kind of like I have right there. That's one that you can get for your kitchen. I picked that up from a buddy who didn't need it. He has those in his kitchen to hold his kitchen knives and stuff like that, and I thought they would work pretty good with the screwdrivers and different tools. So I might make a few more of those. His suggestion was to glue them to a piece of 2x4 or something like that, and then you have the magnets to hold the tools. So we'll see what we can do. Again, I use them for scrapping all the time. I got a whole bunch stuck to different metal things outside for when I'm outside, as well as I showed you on the vise. So I don't think there's any gotchas. With the hard drives, like I said, that top plate can be stainless or aluminum. There's usually a piece of tin glued to it for whatever reason. Stability, I guess. I don't know. Whatever they do that for. So peel that off and you get better prices for both. And I can't think of anything else off the top of my head there. You know, if you declare or guarantee that you're destroying the data, like I said, make sure you do a good job destroying it. You don't want your word to be thrown into the crap pile, so to speak. So again, thanks for watching the video. If you have any comment suggestions or anything like that, or you know, drawing a blank there, so sorry. Yeah, if you have any comment suggestions or anything that you'd like to pass on, let me know, and just in the comment section, and we'll get a conversation going about it. So thanks a lot for watching again. Take care, have a good day. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Ciao.